Hello and welcome, all you Dragon Warrior Randomizer fans. We have Week 7 semifinal Winter League playoff action. Your racers tonight are jkoper on the top left, aaron2u2 on the top right, dk9146 on the bottom left, and Archfield on the bottom right. Tonight, I am Hoodie Two Shoes. Joining me is Beta Strep. Beta, how are you doing? How are you feeling about these racers, this race, and this flag set?
I'm looking forward to seeing how these four treat this. The main takeaway with this flag set is we have permanent repel on, just like we did in week 3, but there are some tweaks to it. So we don't have a vanilla map anymore, it's a random map. And there's a bunch of tri-stated flags combined with this, so we could see vanilla searches, we could see random chest locations, we could see vanilla or random spells, we could see random XP requirements, heal hurt before more, which, I mean, we might not spot that depending on how the leveling goes. Random monster abilities, and then the really interesting one to me is the random but consistent monster XP gold. So if that rolls on, we're going to see some weird rewards from the monsters that they fight, and what that typically leads to is like golems are just complete garbage. So if the golems roll onto the spikes and we have that flag on, then the runners are basically going to be forced into an overworld grind.
Yeah, it can definitely make certain enemies worth less than you might expect them to be, and others worth more. Like, I think the Stone Man and the Armored Knight tend to do pretty well, but certain mid-game enemies that you're used to being pretty good can be much less than you're hoping for.
Yeah, there can be some variance in the rewards. Like, I think wolves typically roll down. Like the true middle, like middle to upper middle tier can be pretty much the same as what they usually are. Like Wraith Knights and Knights and things like that, they tend to roll pretty close to their vanilla, standard vanilla values, I would say.
Yeah, and we might not even see that at all because it could roll to just being regular stats. So a lot of tri-states back in here, and the permanent repel again. We'll see if anyone opts to pick up armor at any point during the seed. It's always kind of interesting to see people's approaches to defense when you're guaranteed to be repelling all the time.
And an interesting thing related to that is one of the tri-states I didn't mention yet is the treasure guards. So for the 3 plot items plus the sword and armor, there's a 50% chance that all of those things can roll a treasure guard. So you could see treasure guards on all of them, you could see treasure guards on none of them, you could see a treasure guard on just one of them. The only exception to that is if any of those things roll into the throne room, of course. We don't allow treasure guards in the throne room, although if we did, it would be hilarious, but it would be a soft lock if it was a plot item, if you couldn't beat it.
And we've got a countdown here, so believe it or not, folks, we will be seeing throne rooms and items. Here we are. So we'll listen to the king, and then we'll see what we start with, and that'll give us a pretty good idea of at least potentially what's going on here.
Yeah, the gold torch progression is the thing that you look for, and there's the gold, and oh, we got the sword. Now, I don't know, can the sword roll into that if it was vanilla? I would say no. The only thing that can get flipped around is that gold chest, and I think it's only limited to harp and stones.
Yeah, so it's even though we saw that gold chest first, seeming like potentially not, or it will be shuffled chests.
Yeah, so the seed did the runners a real solid there by handing them the sword right off the bat. So the defense stat doesn't matter nearly as much when you have this much attack power. You can just immediately start targeting the zone 2 enemies like the Warlock. And we did see a hurt spell and a sleep coming out of the Warlock, so it looks like we did roll vanilla monster abilities in this seed.
It looks like we've got vanilla gold and XP rewards as well, based on, I think I've seen a Drakey, a Ghost, and I think the Warlock all gave their regular XP amount.
And it also looks like our levels are normal as well, so we're not going to see any shenanigans when it comes to having to get like 2000 XP for a level or something like that. And we also see the sleep spell already, so vanilla spells did not roll on, so we're not going to have to wait till level 17 necessarily, unless the stats don't cooperate.
And starting with the sword, we really shouldn't see anybody struggle to get out to a pretty good start here and be able to take on some mid-game enemies. And knowing what all the abilities are, you've got a great idea of what's the best and what's annoying.
That is definitely true, and the interesting thing about having this much offense early on is it really does open up the door for people to grab defense much sooner than they would normally do it. Like if you didn't have this much attack power, like at least from where I'm sitting, I would like to wait until I have like the combination of sleep and hurt before I would dare to pick up defense and start dropping the lower tier stuff.
Yeah, that 40 attack power is just such a game changer. It's almost double what your strength is right now. A little bit less, but it just makes it. It's the bulk. It's 2/3 of your attack power, essentially.
And since they got the early sleep spell, they could really push their grind level up a bit here. I mean, granted, we don't have a ton of HP to play around with. I mean, 47 at level 5 is okay, but you could definitely start pushing for a better grind than like warlocks and wolves pretty quickly. Like you could potentially take on wolf lords, wyverns, maybe even knights if you can land the sleep spell on them. And we see Archfield is going after a Wraith Knight, but that heal loop is just awful.
Yeah, meanwhile, DK's got a Wyvern and a little bit easier to sleep the Wyvern than the Wraith Knight, so it's a great XP for now. And a Knight, if you can get the sleep here, yep, and we'll see if the Knight can stay. Oh, he's just going for the run. Knights have pretty good defense.
Yeah, and at 16 hit points, DK would certainly get one shot if the Knight were to wake up.
Yeah, pretty much relying on perma sleep there to get that. So gonna value getting a little bit of exploration done here. Gets ambushed and slept by a Magi Wyvern. And the XP's looking very even. We got 171, 169, now 205. We'll take a look at Archfield when he gets into a battle, but most of the runners, 176, yeah, so they're all just within a stone's throw of one another.
And it looks like jkoper has found the mountain cave, so we'll see if there's anything in here.
Archfield took a quick look in the stairwell there, but I think that the chest locations are in their regular spots.
It's funny the warlock is giving him the business. Like this is normally in the mountain cave as well in the vanilla game.
We got DK taken on a Knight right now with 7 HP and gets it done, so that's feeling pretty good. Everyone's still pretty similar. Nobody's made it to the level 7 337 threshold yet. We'll have to see if that comes with a significant MP boost and a healing spell or something.
Yeah, you really want a heal spell at this point because you're very limited in terms of where you can go and what you can do, even with this offense, if you don't have the ability to heal at all.
Yeah, so finding oh, there's a Demon Knight on that chest. That's a very viable treasure guard, but might be hard to kill that Demon Knight. Gonna use an herb. Might just have to hope for the end of dodge. That's really unfortunate, but
It is knowledge, but yeah, the Demon Knights are very trolly with that roughly 25% dodge stat that they have, so it is really difficult to take them down at this HP because you're with only 15 defense, you're very much in the realm of getting two-shot by them, and you're just not going to out-heal them, even if you have herbs like Archfield did.
the DK's in this zone taking on, he's killed a Knight, he's taken on a Rogue Scorpion now, and he gets the kill after getting it to sleep, so nice 70. He's going to get level 7 here. jkoper just got level 7 as well. No spell, and it came with 0 HP.
Yeah, that's the game's way of telling you that you should just keep grinding. I mean, I can understand the urge to try to explore, but at the same time, you gotta understand when you have Erdrick's Sword, like, you have the most important thing that you can find in a permanent repel seed early on. So if you go exploring and you stumble upon a plight item or something, like, it's not really doing much for you. Like, you need levels before you can really do anything, and critically you need the heal spell.
I think if it was me, what I'd be exploring for is a town where I could buy herbs, so I could at least grind with herbs. Like, I would be still thinking about the grind, but like, I'd want to find a town to buy some herbs so I could, you know, be in a good zone and stay there. Like, that would be, I think, the goal that I would have in mind for exploration.
Yeah, herbs, keys, maybe a large shield or something if you accumulate some gold. All of those things would be useful. It's like the main thing in the back of my mind is when you're searching around for things, like with that Tri-State Treasure Guard flag, there's not a lot of guards you can take down right now. Like, you need either a bit more attack power to two-shot them, or you need significantly more HP if we keep not getting any heal spells.
DK just two-shot a Demon Knight on the overworld there. Doesn't know that we're not 100% sure that it's a treasure guard in the 5th chest in Mountain Cave, but it seems pretty likely. So we have seen a runner kill a Demon Knight, so that is a winnable fight.
Yeah, the thing about Demon Knights is they can roll fairly low HP, so they're definitely gettable at 85 attack power. It's just you would have to go first and hit them twice, most likely.
Yeah, you can't miss, and you have to have enough HP and have them not, you know, kill you in the meantime. And in the middle or the bottom of the mountain cave there, that's kind of a dicey proposition. You know, you're not going to win that, as Archfield found out every time.
Jkoper hit level 8, and I don't think it gave him a spell. And meanwhile, Archfield has found Breckenary.
Well, it is a place to potentially buy some herbs here, and maybe pick up a chainmail if you want it. And he's going to pick up a chainmail.
A chainmail at this point is a no-brainer. Interestingly enough, his defense power is only 26 with that chainmail, so he would still encounter the skeletons and warlocks of the world.
Yeah, so that definitely makes the chainmail like just absolutely you don't even have to think about it. It just makes a lot of sense to get 10 extra defense right there.
And Archfield is in Cantlin, although he's not going to be able to really do anything here. I mean, he's certainly going to load up on herbs immediately. And we have DK picking up chainmail and Breckenary, so it looks like this is going to be the common play that these runners have to make.
I think that Aaron might have just died just short of Breckenary, which is unfortunate. Could have been able to get some herbs and heal up there, maybe pick up a chainmail as well.
Not the most critical death that you would see in this game, although DK is getting heavily trolled by that NPC just standing in the shop forever.
Yeah, Breckenary is one of the places. There's a lot of places it can happen. You know, the coal shop I think is the worst by far. But Breckenary, Garenhem, they all have their charm, and Rim as well.
Brian Williams in chat is a big stan for the wolf grind. I mean, personally, I'd want to see wyverns and wolf lords, things on that tier at this point. But wolves are perfectly fine. Metal scorpions are perfectly fine. It's just that, especially when you're getting to like level 8, you have 80 hit points. You can damage race a lot of things. You have that potent sleep spell. We still are lacking healing or basically anything, which is hilarious to me.
Yeah, getting 6 herbs right now is really great, just in the sense that you could be in that zone in the desert with the wyverns and whatnot, and be able to hang out there for probably at least another level. Got a Sharlock sighting on DK's screen.
And Archfield finally hits level 8 inside Hawksness off of a Magiwyvern, and jkoper hit level 9 at the same time. and he's now in triple digits for attack power. But again, we're still running around with just hurt and sleep at level 9.
Yeah, he was. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to, jinx it. But he was on 2 HP fighting a significant number of enemies to get that level up, which that was very impressive.
And don't look now, but it looks like Archfield is taking on a green dragon in Hawksness. I'm assuming this is the spike. I didn't see exactly where he's walking, but it looks like based on his screen, he's on the spike tile right now. So we're gonna get a look at this.
Yeah, he landed the sleep, and that was very effective for nothing. But still, it's good knowledge and a great kill.
Yeah, that's really important actually. It knowing that you have a green dragon spike somewhere that could potentially add value to the silver shield down the line if there's a gold grind available. Like if, let's say that heal more doesn't come till 16, let's say hurt more doesn't come till 16, being able to grind a green dragon with high defense in that situation would be incredibly valuable.
Yeah, especially if we're not going to be getting into heal more or hurt more. And Aaron takes another death here, taking a couple of deaths here in the last couple of minutes, and looking like he's just going to stick it out in the desert here and try to grind. Well, looks like jkoper is in mountain and DK might be in grave.
Yeah, DK is clearing the top of grave, and the only thing of note there is a fighter's ring, unfortunately. He did get a Droll Magi on a chest, but the Droll Magi is not in the guard pool, sadly.
So jkoper likely to run into this Demon Knight if it is indeed a treasure guard here, and has a great chance to take it down. So yeah, this is almost confirmed. Could be still random chance, but gonna get the kill here. We'll see what it is.
Okay, not a bad find. It would have been interesting if that had been Erdrick's armor. It would have immediately bumped him up to 45 defense, and a whole bunch of things that are still kind of desirable at this point would have been dropped out of his encounter pool.
But it is great to get one of the items. You kind of always hoping to get the harp. At least I am. This is one of the first items, just so when you run into the cave, you can trade it in. But you'll take any of them. So great to get that knowledge down. And now we know that Cole and or Cantlin potentially more important since the Hawksness tile had nothing.
I think I just saw DK take down a stone man, so it's good to see all of this use of sleep. This makes me happy because it's oftentimes, from what I've seen people do, especially in standard flags racing, is like they seem to ignore the spell a lot, and it's extremely useful if you don't have something like Hurt More to use on everything. It's a nice little subtle spell to throw at things.
Yeah, sleep and hurt are some of my favorite spells in the game when you got nothing else. And Archfield beelining back for that chest at the bottom of the mountain cave. Very likely to take it out. DK sees the shop has a bunch of good stuff in coal. I'm not sure if we've seen the spot or the tile here yet or not.
He has not stepped onto it yet, but he is about to.
And some annoying abilities on the some of these enemies with the vanilla abilities, but kills the Wraith Knight easily and picks up a silver harp. A fantastic find.
Yeah, that item is definitely a favorite for routing purposes, because the one thing that's always a feels bad moment when you're running this game is you're far away from everything exploring and you see the staff cave and you don't have the harp, and in the back of your mind you have to walk all the way back there at some point, and you just hate it for the rest of the seed.
Yep, that is not a desirable place to be. And DK here heading east of Charlock. Not sure if this is maybe the mountain cave or if we're going to see a different cave here. Finds the jerk.
Seems like it's a far away cave from anything, so that's going to be fun to have to go back to when all the plot items are found.
It was sort of close to Charlock though, so it's not the worst. And Aaron is in Mountain and is going to get that Demon Knight encounter as well, but only 54 HP right now. Just use that herb, so hopefully can keep a decent amount of that HP for that fight. But might be low taking on... Oh, the stop spell might help here.
Well, I have some good news about level 10. They did learn a spell, but the spell was returned.
I mean, it's a useful spell.
I mean, sure, once you have keys and you have a compelling reason to go back to start, sure.
Yeah, you're definitely looking for heal or heal more at this situation. Absolutely. You need something to heal yourself in this game.
At this point, I almost feel like this is a race to Rimeldar because I think that we've seen most of the accessible chests. Like, I don't think we've seen Tablet or Stones Caves yet, but those could be behind locked doors at this point, at the way we're going.
Yeah, definitely. The only places I can think of are those two, the Stones Cave Tablet, Garenhem in the back, the bottom of Grave, and then the two search spots that are remaining, Cantlin, and no, there's just one, because we've seen that Cole has the token. So, yeah, just Cantlin and then those other places.
And the next thing that's on my mind now is, did armor roll into Charlock? It's very much a possibility. Like, the no armor in Charlock is a tri-state, so we could have armor lurking in Charlock in this seed too.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we might have clocked a magic armor, but when armor's in Charlock, that magic armor value gets much higher.
Oh, definitely. The magic armor is basically worth a heal more when you're diving Charlock, walking that utterly ridiculous step count to get to the basement treasury. Although with the vanilla abilities, the hurt or damage reduction isn't all that useful because you can only see it from armored knights and wizards.
No, I'm not sure if jkoper has herbs or not, but we see DK restocking on herbs. Both pretty great on XP right now. And the only way to stay alive on this map right now, so it makes sense picking them up whenever you can.
Yeah, this seed is, despite the fact that it handed them the sword right off the bat, giving them basically the free start, it's ramping up a little bit in difficulty because, like, nobody has keys yet. Although we do have a swamp cave sighting on Archfield side, and we have Rimeldar for DK, so that is, I feel like this is gigantic for DK. He can immediately start clearing a lot of chests now, and there's very likely to be something in at least one of them.
And if he does pick up the armor, that is healing that is desperately needed. That would be, just another huge advantage. Be able to fight a bunch of stuff at this point, so the armor I think would be very welcome.
Honestly, at this point, I would be satisfied with just a gold grind for magic armor. Like, the 1 point in 4 steps doesn't seem like much, but with permanent repel, if you're going through a couple zones where you're just repelling everything, it's actually a fair bit of healing. And we have a Wraith Knight Treasure Guard inside Rimeldar, which DK just crits.
Instantly paying off those keys, and there it is. That is probably the best thing you could have picked up at this point in terms of making your seed easier and you go faster.
Yeah, this seems like a I wouldn't say a race-changing event because like DK was already doing pretty well. Like he already got a plot item and he'd been covering a lot of ground on the overworld. But getting keys and getting the armor at the same time is like that is extremely powerful.
Yeah, and if he ends up finding a zone with those knights in it, they cast Stop Spell a lot. That could be a very great place to be right now.
Although instead he runs into a golem, so despite his anti-flute stance, I'm sure he would be thrilled to have a flute now, because with a bunch of attack power, you could definitely go after one of those with the flute, although if it does wake up and you don't have a heal spell, that could be really annoying.
Oh, Aaron doesn't get the Magic Wyvern luck with the sleep. Going for the kill there on 4 HP, but unable to take it down. Does have a chainmail. I'm not sure which town he was in, but likely if he had herbs, he's probably out of them by now. So getting around is just pretty tough. Really seems like what we've seen is that having herbs and being able to kind of weather some swamp tiles or encounters has really been very helpful.
Yeah,
jkoper's got the Harp Cave.
It's really painful when you don't land sleep spells or they don't stick on enemies that you know are extremely susceptible to them, like Magic Wyverns.
Oh, he landed the sleep, but he went for the kill. He attacked and it woke up on the first turn. So
Yeah, the not sticking part is. I feel like that's in a way that's somehow more infuriating than not landing them. Like you know, it's a 1 in 3 for them to wake up, and DK got swarmed by NPCs in Garenham, so he's gonna do a check here.
Archfield gets taken out by a knight there as Aaron is going out the other end of the swamp cave. Here's another. We got Stone's Cave with gold.
Yeah, DK is gonna focus on just clearing treasury now and seeing what's under start. I think it's gotta be what, Tablet Cave now? I think that's what it has to be.
Yeah, pretty sure we've seen all the other caves out somewhere else. So at this point, it looks like there's the item here in tablet, there's bottom grave, and then potentially coordinates, and those are the only remaining checks.
Yep, that's all there is. So we should be seeing something found in. There has to be something in one of the remaining chests for sure. Although that's true, Schmike. I keep cycling through items. I keep thinking that people have the same ones, but apparently not. Like, there's a little bit of difference in terms of the plot items that people have.
Looks like the stones are going to be on the coordinates or deep grave. So if the coordinates exist, well, I guess they could be the death necklace or the flute. So yeah, deep grave is still in play.
And Ziggy with a comment in chat saying that this flag set isn't necessarily Jetty, but we're getting that type of thing in the 2 semifinals. And yeah, I've definitely noticed that it's very much a strange flag set when I was doing practice runs of it. Like, I had a couple just absolute horrible slogs where, like, one I had to go to 16,000 plus XP to get to a force level 17, and it's just awful. But this week, the semifinals have just been really, really quick.
And everybody in a little bit of a different situation here. DK, the only one with keys and has the armor and will not be needing to heal or won't be dying as much as the others. Hasn't been, well, just now is in Mountain, so we'll soon be getting the token. Nobody has found the Stones of Sunlight, but at this point, I think DK is just far and away in the lead. But the other three, jkoper out in front on XP, but The others, they're all in a similar situation. I think jkoper is probably a little bit better just because he's seen more of the map. So I would say that jkoper is in a tentative, second position here.
Well, the other thing I've noticed is that level 12 did finally give the heal spell. It also gave outside, which is... people don't really think about it as being important, but it's a really nice spell to have when you dive the grave.
Yeah, that may be something that DK won't do until he gets that outside spell. Might just go looking for Caitlyn instead of trying to mess around in the grave.
Yeah, with the second curse belt, you would definitely want to push for the Caitlyn find.
We definitely still need heal more before we could think about, defeating the Dragon Lord. But the strength is close, the agility is bad, the MP is bad, and the HP is, it's all right. So it's going to be interesting to see how many more levels they need. How important is having an XP lead going to be, or is just getting to all the stuff and then being able to sit on a grind? We've seen that green dragon in the Hawk's Nest tile. That could be a very lucrative place to just swing away.
That is definitely the case, and with all of this attack power, you could certainly damage race it too and just cast heal several times between fights, although the MP pool is not that deep. I mean, 59 at level 12 is very so-so. The agility stat is also lagging pretty badly here too, I think, at 47.
Yeah, for sure. Those are definite low outliers, and they need to improve. We definitely need heal more too, so we'll see how much those improve by the time heal more comes.
In chat, asking if DK has seen Hawks. I don't think he has. I mean, if he's seen two belts, he definitely wants to find it and Caitlyn. Like, that would be, in his spot, that'd be the top of my mind. I mean, yes, it's technically possible you could roll like a death necklace or flute on a search and your plot item could roll into the chest, but searches are, generally speaking, they are more valuable than a very limited number of chests remaining.
Archfield, the second racer to make it to the town of Rimeldar and pick up those important keys. We know that the armor is waiting here in Rim, so should be able to pick it up soon.
And good news for Aaron, finally hitting level 12, so he'll get his heal spell, and that should help him a lot in terms of staying alive on the overworld and finding his locations to hopefully eventually get keys and stay in this.
Yeah, and with this flag set, we will have a regular Dragon Lord, so what, 150 to 165, and pretty standard experience. So you're going to be thinking about go levels in standard terms, I would say here.
And the interesting note with regards to Sharlock is, since we have the easy alt-run algorithm on with these normal monsters, the main takeaway from that interaction is that red dragons and armored knights are quite a bit easier to run from. They have an effective agility that is in the mid-60s, basically. But at the other end of the spectrum, the lower tier Sharlock enemies like green dragons and star wyverns, werewolves, wizards, blue dragons, that sort of thing, like their agility is increased. So it's like their agility is effectively boosted up towards 60. So you get blocked more by the lower tier stuff and you get blocked less by the higher tier stuff.
And it is very noticeable. And with the agility as low as it is, I think that if you're planning on going with low agility, you're going to have to math in extra heal mores in your math. Like, you just have to expect to lose them.
Yeah, it's one of those weird flag sets where if you have the flute, it actually makes sense in certain cases to flute every single golem you see in Sharlock, especially if your agility is like, say, in the 60s, which is what we might end up seeing in this race, because the golem's agility effectively is boosted up to 45 with this flag set when you're diving Sharlock.
Yeah, and if they have nasty abilities like sleep and, Dragon Lord breath or something like that, even, absolutely, I think there's no question that you flute every golem in this flag set.
Especially with the speed hacks flag on, it's the flute playing in speed hacks is like, I think it's about a second versus the 8 seconds that we have to deal with in standard.
jkoper about to pick up the Airdrix armor here in Rim, and seems like DK might be the only one who's made it to Cole as of yet and gotten that harp. And I don't remember in the treasury if there was gold or not, but there may not be a chest glitch in this seed. So large shield. I don't even know if we've seen a large shield. Shields may be at a premium in this seed with low agility. We'll have to see. Oh, there's gold in the treasury? Okay, well then we've seen a silver shield. So anyone who wants a silver shield should be able to access one.
Yeah, silver shield in the normal silver shield shop in Cantlin, and Archfield gets a small shield. It looks like small shields and silvers are all you've got in the seed based on what I've seen so far. And Archfield will be the first to get the coordinates, although DK will be right behind.
Yeah, DK continues to be in a great position exploration-wise and is still very high up there, near the top of the XP as well. So still in a fantastic position here.
I think I saw 50 south and 28 west for the coordinates, and I don't have a mind for what the map looks like when I'm watching 4 people run the game at the same time, so I have no idea if that's a straightforward walk or not. I'm sure chat will say something about that.
Yeah, those are you really have to, be in the race and have a better awareness of how the map is for what, like 50 is right on the cusp of, feeling cozy or not in terms of counting, depending on the situation. Like if there's a bunch of rivers or, broken paths, or if it's just a huge contiguous area, it's way different.
And Aaron beats the Green Dragon in Hawksness and experiences his disappointment.
He is very near to he's very close to being top of XP now, though, after getting off to a little bit of a slow start. So he's a little behind on the exploration, but has done a great job to catch up on experience.
I would say in Aaron's spot, his best hope is that we have like a sort of marginal situation when it comes to when people are deciding whether or not to go for it. Because when you have this type of agility, like if you don't have a lot of leeway with your resources, it's really easy to fail a dive.
Yep, and DK on his first visit to the Harp Cave here, or the Staff of Rain trade-in cave, does get the staff traded in, so will not have to come back here to get that later.
And of course, now I'm wondering is, will we see a guard on the overworld coordinates or not? And if the coordinates aren't the plot item, then we won't see a guard on it. But if it is the plot item, then we might.
It looks like Archfield is still counting. It just got a little bit blocked there, but it may be difficult or inaccessible, but might just be a long way around here. So I'm going to keep the count going and just try to sneak away to where they could be.
And if I remember seeing chat correctly earlier, it seems like somebody said a golem was the spike in the swamp cave too. So given the fact that nobody has the flute, and the flute very well could have rolled into Sharlock, you're not going to be able to get Gwalen either without a crit.
Yeah, golems are tough when all you've got is heal. So DK is deciding to take on the green dragon in Hawksness, and it makes a lot of sense. He is in position to maybe just need. Maybe he's thinking about the princess. Maybe he doesn't want to count the chords.
Yeah, if you have the information, it's like you know that it's either chords or deep grave. Like you've narrowed it down completely. So the one thing you need for certain is leveling, and if you have this type of grind, this is what you do, because you want the trip to your stuff, whatever's left, to be as easy as possible, and the way to do that is to grind immediately.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You wind up here in Hawksness. You've got resources. It's a green dragon. You might as well fight as many as you can while you're here. This is an involved count here. Archfield is still on it, but this was not a free count.
This is definitely not the count you sign up for when you start doing a manual count. You're like, I hope this is reasonably straightforward, and this is the opposite of that. This is the trap high level runners can fall into, and I've certainly fallen into it multiple times myself, where it's like you see the numbers and you're like, all right, I can probably do this. And he did do it, but it's the death necklace.
Wow, this guy right here, he just did it easy. After like wandering around for a circle, that's crazy.
But here's the question. So even though he got it first try, how long did it take him to do that versus how long will it take DK to do that, assuming that he just grinds to heal more, rescues Gwalen, and then goes and does the count?
Yeah, that's very true. And then it looks like Grave is right next to where the coordinates end up being, so it's really a convenient 1-2 trip here. jkoper gonna get the coordinates here as well in Cantlin. 50 south, 28 west.
This is one of those funny things too, where it's like, if you had keys when you entered Grave the first time, and then like just imagine, like if only you had keys entering Grave for the first time and you just straight up dove it, like you could have just bypassed all of that nonsense, because this might be a guard right here. It would be a duplicate guard with the Mountain Cave Demon Knight, and there's the stones. Stones are in Grave 4.
Well, there you have it. And Archfield still needs to find coal, but other than that, has lots of stuff. And we know now that with 130 plus HP, you might think with 91 strength you're not thinking about the death necklace, but if the MP stays low, the death necklace might be required here. So could be great to have it.
With Death Necklace, it's 11 swings and you have 9 heal mores, but your agility and defense are absolute garbage. Oof. Like you can certainly win, like with these, if these stats hold and we get heal more at 15, it's winnable, but I would absolutely hate it. Like the dive is just, you're probably losing resources on the dive, and you can't really afford to do that. Although DK has a ton of gold, he is very close to silver shield money. He might just do a walk in, walk out grind. It looks like that's exactly what he's doing.
That makes a lot of sense. When you get, 1,000 gold-ish every time you come in and use a key, it won't be that hard to get a couple thousand here.
Yeah, with the defense being so abysmal, I completely agree with this play. Like, I am one of the people that really dumps on the silver shield in this game. I think it's usually not worth the hassle. Like, it's almost never worth going out of your way for it. But when you have this type of extremely awful stat line when it comes to that side of it, you would certainly want to pick it up.
Sounds like Koper got a count on the first try, also very impressive. And yeah, the difference between the 4 defense of the small shield and the 20 of the silver, it makes it like if you had a large, you know, you might think less about it, but when it's 16, I mean, it's just like a no-brainer.
And more to the point, if you know you're getting 1, maybe 2 more levels, the silver shield, even with the agility being this terrible, like it's not going to take that much more agility to at least get you to the point where you're breaking the wizards and just dropping them off the encounter table entirely, which is, with vanilla abilities, that's a good thing because wizards have hurt more and they love to throw it at you.
As we see that both Archfield and jkoper now have a harp. Aaron's got a harp as well. Aaron still needs to get the stones, but things are converging a little bit here. DK's still the only one with everything, and he's still looking for the stones.
I'm pretty sure DK has full knowledge, though. I think he's got to know that they're in deep grave at this point, right?
He was counting. I didn't see if he picked up the death. He does have the death necklace. Okay, he's heading straight for the grave. He knows. He'll find it in 4. And then he will very likely be the first one with the rainbow drop. We'll see if he goes straight back to Hawksness after this.
But this is definitely a feels bad scenario for Aaron because he still hasn't found Rim, and that's the only way to get keys and to get your armor and get access to all this other stuff.
Yeah, he's done great to keep up on the XP, but just been having a real rough go of the exploration this time.
Yeah, it's one of the things about this game where, and finally he gets Rimmildar at 43 minutes. This is a real feels bad moment, but it's just like, no matter what the flag set is, exploration luck is very often a dominant factor in the order of finish. Like, assuming something bad doesn't happen to people in Sharlock or something like that, it's just like right ordering a seed or like not missing the only spot where you can get keys in the entire seed for a really long time. Like, stuff like that wreaks havoc on people.
Yep, that's just the nature of the game. It's part of why we all play and why it drives us all a little bit insane sometimes. But DK only, 400 gold away from the shield, is very likely to get it without too much trouble. And we'll see where his eventual grind decision is. He might just stick here to get that gold before he goes and picks up a shield.
It looked like he wanted to hang around in this desert near the Jerk Cave to get his 15 and silver shield money. Like, I don't remember what enemy he last saw over here. I think it was like something on the Knight tier or thereabouts.
Yeah, he just fought a knight, but looks like that's the only enemy he can encounter there, and he's going to think better of it. Archfield was grinding some green dragons for a little while, but has set out again. But things are converging. Aaron finally has keys, and so we'll likely be able to get the knowledge of the stones, but probably going to get the death necklace with the cords like everybody else did first. We'll see if he decides to go into grave in a kind of contrarian play or not.
Well, DK has walked into the top of Sharlock to do his end grind. I honestly don't remember where Hawksness is relative to everything else. Like, I feel like Hawksness is the best grind, but he was so close to 15. This makes sense as well. And we get 8 MP, 3 agility, but we do not get heal more. So this is a level 16 heal more and hurt more seed, which is just hilarious in so many ways.
And the agility stays low at 58, so that is still a problematic agility number. Yeah. Definitely stats to go, I would say, but the agility is suspect, so this is very volatile.
I mean, the one counterweight to that is max HP is 150, so if you really wanted to, you could opt to swing through some stuff in Sharlock. I mean, With the easy alt, this agility is I would say against red dragons and armored knights, this agility and easy alt run is very similar to what we see in standard flags when our agility is like 80 or thereabouts.
DK into Cole is going to buy this shield now, and we'll see. Likely to head to Hawksness, but we'll see what his thinking is. He might be able to take down some golems in the swamp. Oh, I don't know.
He's certainly got options. I mean, there's an argument to be made that in this case, you could do the positional grind in top of Sharlock. It all depends on where Hawksness is relative to Cole. Like, I can't remember the layout of this map, and it looks like DK is just going to settle on the position grind, which I can totally see it as being justifiable here, because it's like you have golems in this one. Blue dragons I'm not a fan of, but any port and a storm in this case. But like the golems will help him enough, I think, in the top to get him to go without suffering too much inefficiency.
Yep, and you're going to go as far as you can to see if you can get some zone knowledge here, and the miss on the red dragon right away is not ideal, but still has a chance to take this thing down.
Although we do have red dragons up here, so with the vanilla abilities, you can get put to sleep by those things. It's only 25%, but that is a nice little fly in the ointment here. Like a little bit of bad luck, and you could get sent home by a bad red dragon encounter here.
Yeah, and everybody is getting much closer on the exploration and having all their things found and traded in. So the XP is really the important thing at this point. Looks like Archfield has the idea of fighting some green dragons in Hawksness for a while.
Yeah, this is certainly a nice grind if you have the resources to take advantage of it. And in his spot, I would be doing the exact same thing. This is a nice little grind to have here.
Yeah, and DK didn't even do a chest glitch to get the silver in this seed. He just fought a bunch of stuff, and he got the armor and didn't die, and then fought a bunch of stuff and had like 10,000 gold, and then did a old school double treasury chest key grind.
Yeah, you don't see it all that often. Like I wouldn't say I don't think I'd classify it as being rare, but it is definitely infrequent that you see people stay alive for a very long time in this game to the point where they just get the 14,800 naturally. I mean, yeah, he did a couple of walkthroughs of the treasury, but still, that he had accumulated like over 12,000 gold, which is pretty funny when you think about it.
Yep, and now only several hundred 8 XP away from getting level 16, which we know will come with Heal More, and almost a guarantee we'll see him attempt to go down and take on the Dragon Lord at that point.
Yeah, this agility is in DK's sweet spot. He is known for winning with 50s agility and standard, and there was the sleep out of the red dragon, but DK woke up right away. So sometimes it pays to be lucky in this game, and when you're getting put to sleep by red dragon, that's one of those times. And we only see 4 agility, but that 11 MP is going to help a lot. That is a lot of safety for the lower agility dive that he's going to be doing soon.
Yeah, that feels really good. And he got slept there, and he won that red dragon fight with 97 HP. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, it pays to keep your HP high. I mean, you gotta do the things that you have control over in this game to stay alive in key spots, and it's one of the things that separates the top really good runners from everybody else. Is like they generally have this instinct where they're doing the little things over and over again to give themselves that little extra margin of safety if something goes wrong.
Yeah, and DK is in a wonderful position here. Like any time, Sharlock could be, you know, unpleasant, but it looks like DK is in a great position, and the real interesting thing here is going to be who's going to be able to take the second slot. It's not a guarantee yet, but DK is in a fantastic position.
Yeah, DK is, I would say he's in a position where he could. I feel like he would still be in the lead even if he fails a dive here. Although jkoper does have the rainbow drop, but he's only on level 14, so he's still got some grinding to do.
Yeah, we know that you have to have heal more to take it on, and that comes at 16. So might just be in here for the grind or to get some knowledge, but this is not a dive to win.
Brian Williams slightly disagreeing with me here, saying that he doesn't think a full DL2 fight would allow DK to still be in the lead. I don't know. I mean, it depends on how quick his dive goes. I mean, we know Red Dragons are up here, and DK is getting trolled right now, too. Archfield is approaching the tail end of his grind, although I haven't seen what his XP total is yet. He doesn't have the drop yet, although he can get that on the way to Sharlock. But he still needs 1500 XP. It's like 11 green dragons. What is
DK
that, like
does
3
have,
minutes?
16. That 16 extra defense from the Silver Shield could come into play as well.
It would certainly help if, assuming he puts the death necklace on, and there's no reason not to put it on when you have this much HP. Like, you're sitting at 154 HP. I feel like at 134 attack power, it's a no-brainer to put it on.
Using the first herb, so that's pretty great, not having to use any herbs until the bottom floor. We see both Armored Knights and Red Dragons on the bottom. The sleep is bad, but like you said, Armored Knights, Red Dragons, a little bit easier to run from in this flag set than usual.
So Slamu is saying fight the red, and it's like, this is an easy alt run algorithm flag set, so it's at 62 agility, he is over 40% to run from Red Dragons, and he's basically a coin flip against Armored Knights.
BK knows his MP, uses a heal spell there, saves an herb, and is going to pre-Death Necklace here.
I honestly think it's fine either way. I mean, you could go into the fight and do the herb thing, but I don't think it matters. Like, at 11 heal mores with this attack power, this is totally fine, like 99% of the time.
Just going straight in. So here we are, DL2 here for DK. Starting out with a 16 is it's not bad at all.
62 agility and getting first action on DL2, and so many of us get back attacked when we have 90 plus. It's just hilarious.
We're up to 41 damage done. So 58. It's going to be 78. Jeez. Okay, so we're at 100.
I think this is a complete lock here. It doesn't, barring a miss menu, this is free at this point, I would say.
Yeah, he's looking to be in great shape. I think we're at 124 now. Oh boy, okay, so that's 145. And 156 is going to get it done. GG to DK, going to finish in first place in this race and move on to the final.
That was a very well executed race by him. And as we said earlier, that getting to Rimmeldar first, getting the keys and the armor, like getting keys on its own probably would have been enough to give him the win, given how everything else played out. But it's like the fact that Rimmeldar also had Erdrick's armor, and DK was at a point where he could take full advantage of that heal walking. His other stats were good enough where he could just fight the higher tier stuff without any real issues. I think that combination of the keys and the armor both being in Rimmeldar and being the first to get them is just like, that's GG's. When you have a runner like DK that gets that first, that's just GG's.
Yeah, and Rim being across some swamp tiles, having access to herbs and just the courage to go over there, really paying off this time.
And now the question is, who's going to be the second place finisher to advance to the finals? jkoper, we already know he has the rainbow drop. He's just straight up grinding for 16 right now, so he's got what, like 1,500 to go. That's like 11 green dragons, so that's what, like 3.5 minutes maybe to count for the fighting and having to refill. And Archfield is entering Sharlock right now, so Archfield probably has, I wouldn't say it's a full dive lead, but it's close.
Yeah, Archfield in a good position, and we saw, I think that 156 was enough for the Dragon Lord to go down, so it's not as high HP as it could be. So even if he loses a heal more on the way down, still probably in a really great position here. Welcome in, DK. GG. How you feeling? What are you thinking about?
Feeling great. It went really well. I felt good about most of the moves I made, so it's nice.
Yeah, the best move that you made was being the first one to find Rimmeldar, get keys, and get armor.
Oh yeah, and when I got that armor, it was just so juicy to have at that point with all that strength and HP we already had. It was a fantastic time to have armor.
Yeah, the lack of healing, didn't get heal until level 12 there. So just being able to move around and get your HP back. And I was thinking, how were you feeling about the herbs early on? To me, I felt like they were very valuable and helped out a lot. But what was your perception of the herb?
The herbs let me keep moving around, which on a full-size map and trying to find stuff worthwhile when you have a lot, when you're kind of strong but you don't have any healing. I don't know. I went out of my way, and you saw me. I don't know if you saw, but that first time I went to get herbs out of freaking Breck, the NPCs were absolutely trolling.
That was my favorite moment of the race right there. Just having you sit there helplessly, having that guy blocking the door that had to be like a 20-second block.
Yeah, it was miserable, and I was like, I'm about to walk away. I was like, as soon as I walk away, they get out of the way. And as soon as I did, sure as heck, I was like, I'm gonna walk back, and they're gonna walk right back down, but I got there in time.
Yeah, just played really well. I mean, at some point, Beta was kind of going over it all, but just you got those keys, and then everything else just kind of worked out. You were able to trade in the harp to the staff trade, on your first try. You got some good XP out of Hawksness, and then you were able to just kind of do the location grind in Sharlock, and then get on down. It just worked out real well.
Yeah, even set up to where got the silver shield money. I thought that was key because I realized I hadn't died in so long. So when I returned, because I was hoping 15 would be go, because it was already go without the heal more. But I was like, let me get the chest a few times in here. The next level will give me enough gold, and it all worked out. So.
Yeah, we see Archfield here on the bottom floor, vying for second place in a great position, level 16. Has the death necklace, just needs to make it down to the Dragon Lord, not get harangued by these armored knights and red dragons down here.
Yeah, Archfield, he got put to sleep for multiple turns against a red dragon, and now he's getting put to sleep by another red dragon. So this is now very dicey. He's in the red. He's gonna do the required heal more here, but he's having a very difficult bottom floor.
Yeah, a really different experience than DK was having, and gonna have to use another heal more here. And the sleep that comes out, oof. This is real bad, because Aaron and jkoper are both level 16 now.
And I think he just cast heal, which cost him another heal more. So he's down to 8 heal mores now. This is I don't know. It's not a loss guaranteed, but this is like I would be extremely nervous and worried in his spot here. I mean, especially he has that low defense. He's gonna be potentially getting hit for 54 by the second phase of the Dragon Lord. He's gonna have to roll well, I think.
Yeah, gonna have to hope for some stop spells out of DL1, I think, too. And this is not what you need on the step or two before the Dragon Lord here.
I think he saw something like 5 red dragons on the bottom floor.
Well, there's Sharlock volatility for you, as Aaron and jkoper are both on the first floor coming down, level 16. So this is really coming down to it here. What an exciting finish.
And he did not put on the death necklace. This is interesting. Or did he put it on before the fight?
I'm not sure.
Okay, he pre-equipped it. I didn't see it on the tracker, and I didn't see him do it, so he pre-equipped. But yeah, this is looking grim right now. He's gonna need to roll really well, and he did get a double. He lucked into a double.
We saw DK roll off some 20s and 21s too, so that's what we're gonna have to hope for. And we know that it only had we dealt 156 as far as I counted, and it was enough to kill. So it's possible here.
But everybody in chat, bear in mind that when Archfield swings at like 52 hit points, he can die. He can die to a melee because he has the small shield.
And so we're getting down to it here with Archfield. I haven't been counting, but we've got, what, maybe 3 attacks left? Maybe 4? Probably the last attack here. For 14, it's not enough. Oh, and 38 is going to send Archfield home. Probably just under.
That is just extremely painful. Like I really feel for him. Like we've all been in a situation like that in a critical race where like Sharlock just does Sharlock things. When you have dangerous enemies in there, you can just get brutalized by it. And Archfield he got a murderer's row of red dragons, and he also, to be fair, he made a critical error casting that heal, and I'm sure he knows that. He made a critical error casting that heal, costing himself another heal more. But the real issue is just that the bottom floor of Sharlock just brutalized him the whole way. Like, he got put to sleep multiple times.
jkoper was having a pretty free walk until that red dragon, but is able to get away, and has lots of resources heading into this Dragon Lord. So very likely to come away with a victory here.
Yeah, and you're seeing the Sharlock variance here too. I mean, not just in the fact that like Archfield had really bad encounters on the bottom floor, but like I think jkoper entered Sharlock 10 seconds ahead of Aaron, and Aaron was like 2 floors behind him by the time jkoper got to the Dragon Lord. So that just goes to show you. And here's an encounter going horribly wrong for Aaron. Like he got blocked and put to sleep, so there goes a heal more for him.
Yeah, he's already down 2 heal mores, I think.
Yeah, Aaron is in a similar spot to Archfield. Like he's in the 70s. If he loses another heal more here, he's going to be in essentially the same spot that Archfield was. And we know that this is the quote-unquote easy It's the easy alt run algorithm. These enemies are supposed to be easier to run from. Like, this is the group of enemies where it's easier to run from them. But again, like, because of the nature of the run mechanic in this game, you're never going to be much more than, like, say 60% to get away from something on the higher end of the agility. So it's never much better than a coin flip, and you're seeing it play out right here for at least a couple of the runners.
Yep, jkoper went into this fight with no shield, so is taking a lot potentially from physicals, but still seems to be doing all right. Is getting a couple of 11s, but I still think it should be all right.
Yeah, I think at jkoper's defense, he can get hit for 55, but since he made it with the resources that he did, he's totally fine, and he wins with 2 heal mores remaining. So that just goes to show you, like, the variance in this game between the exploration luck and you go to Sharlock and you get Red Dragon. It's just, that's this game in a nutshell. No matter what your flag set is, unless you're doing like one of those really random like Cursed Princess things where you're just trading cursed belts or whatever. But like in a normal win condition situation, this is what this game is for everybody.
And you see you all getting your GGs out for jkoper. Will be the second place finisher in this race, and along with DK, will make it to the finals here. So congratulations to jkoper. Now, DK, have you done any of those week 8 seeds yet?
Nah, I've done enough week 8 in the past. The little variance isn't going to matter. It'll never be 2021 again, where I spent almost 6 hours playing 2 seeds. Yeah. I saw that, Brian. The real flex is 5 straight years in the semis, 4 of those 5 in the finals. I'm just doomed to be 4th every year.
Heck of a streak, and congratulations again on making it to the finals. You will be joining, oh no, I'm not going to remember who made it in the other race. Beta, bail me out.
You will be joining Diabetes the Second and Ryguy, because I did the thing in my race that Aaron did in this one, which is I just didn't do the exploration the right way and paid dearly for it. So you get to deal with, I mean, Diabetes has been in the finals before, so that's familiar, but Ryguy, I don't think Ryguy has made it in the finals in this tournament before, so we have some new blood in the finals, although he's obviously a veteran runner as well.
Yeah, I think that this is, I think DK was in the finals last year, but the other 3 were not, so we will have definitely a new winner in the Winter League this year.
And Aaron takes a death to the Dragon Lord, so that isn't exactly surprising, because he went in basically in the same spot that Archfield did before.
Welcome in, jkoper. GG, congrats on finishing 2nd and moving on to the finals. How you feeling? What are you thinking about?
I don't know. I'm lucky. Yeah, that's how it mostly feels. And I'm pretty sure our agility was pretty low. So, maybe, Sherlock was the difference there. Not sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Aaron entered Sharlock maybe, 10, 20 seconds apart. You were in first, and by the time that you were down to the Dragon Lord, Aaron was a couple of floors behind, so a significantly better walk down there for sure.
And it should also be pointed out that Archfield was in position to get 2nd, but his bottom floor was absolutely nightmarish. I believe he got something like 5 Red Dragon encounters. He got put to sleep multiple times. And then he mistakenly cast a heal, which cost him a heal more, so he had to fight the Dragon Lord with only 8 heal mores, and he didn't get there. So, like, he was in position, and it just didn't work out for him.
Well, that's unfortunate. And, I mean, if he made, like, it seems like he's got a lot on his mind, so blame him.
Archfield is gonna beat the Dragon Lord. Get your GGs out as we welcome in aaron2u2. Aaron, how you feeling? What are you thinking about?
First, GG to everybody, and hey, GG to Archfield getting through. I don't know what, I couldn't find Rim, and I feel like that was 50% of it, but the other 50% was just, I wasn't comfortable with any of the grinds nearby. I felt like the sleep spell wasn't working ever, and I just got really antsy and started running around dying a lot, which is usually a pretty good sign that you're not playing well.
Yeah, GG, Aaron.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
The most annoyed I was at myself for anything I did in this whole race, I think, was right at the start. When I got to level 3, and then I saw my first wolf, and I forgot I had sleep, and I should have cast that. There was still a chance I could have taken him down with 2 swings, but I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, for a seed where you started with Erdrick's sword, there sure was a lot of dying going on at the beginning there, and rightfully so with the swamp tiles and no healing. But it was a little bit more of a struggle than a sword start usually is.
Yeah. That was 6 deaths for DK. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I ended up almost naturally grinding a silver shield as a result. I didn't die from probably 20 minutes in on.
Yeah, I see that no one found a large shield. I'm pretty sure I checked every shop anyway. Yeah. It's kind of weird shopping for a shield because I don't want to just check for armor when I've already got the sword at every shop. So then it's like the end game is going back and checking every shop to see if it's in there, and it wasn't. But yeah, I just did it without a shield, so that was fun. I got hit for 52 at least once on DL2. I don't know how much I could have got hit for. I assume more than that, though.
Yeah, I think by the math, you could have been hit for up to 55. So it's a good thing that the seed rolled so much HP for you guys, because with the agility being that low, and if you don't have a shield or if you're diving with a small shield, like that damage range on DL2 can be pretty awful, especially if you're putting on Death Necklace.
Man, 149 for Archfield the first time, 1 swing away.
Oh gosh, yeah. When was he in the first time? Was was he near DK or?
He was basically a full dive ahead of you and jkoper, I think.
Yeah, DK was clear first in, and then Archfield was next, and you two still had some work to do, and then Archfield's dive died, and then you both made it in.
All right, yeah, well, as soon as I started to dive Sharlock, I'm like, because DK had already finished, and I was like, oh, Beta is gonna say something here about DK and low agility Sharlock dives.
The situation was literally made for him. I was gonna ask him a trolley question and see how he felt about that agility gain when he got heal more, if it made him uncomfortable breaking 60.
I'll fully admit I had no idea what our agility was until I saw the stat screen in here. I paid no attention to it.
I am not surprised.
Yeah, obviously I was making a play at like 14 to try to get 15 and hope that I could beat the game on that dive, but then I saw the red dragons and I was like, this is really silly. So walked back up to Hawksness after that. I was thinking about going to Hawksness when I got the staff to grind then, and that was probably the smarter play, but I don't know, just felt a little behind for some reason. I was probably in pretty good shape getting to keys though, I'm guessing, relative to everyone else.
DK was way out front to get the keys in front of everyone else. I think Archfield was second, and then you were very shortly thereafter, and Aaron was the last one to make it to Rim.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron was complaining about it, so it's not surprising.
And Archfield might have gained a little bit of separation just due to the fact that, like, I think his entire end grind was on that green in Hawksness, as you alluded to.
Yeah, maybe I would have been right there with him if I would have just grinded immediately instead of going for the Charlotte play, I guess. I don't know. I didn't feel bad about making the play when I saw Aaron finish. You know, it's like, because second could be happening anytime now. Just definitely thinking a lot about past playoff races, like with Angel and whoever that was last year. Was that Aaron too? I'm not sure. Where, you know, the first person finishes and that's just, it feels like the second one comes right behind that. So being able to pull off second still when I think DK finished on when I was in there on that first dive, and I still had to go back to Hawksness and get those levels and then go all the way back down there again, and, you know, looking for a shield still, I think, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I did all that shield looking for the first time. Either way, it doesn't make much difference. I guess it worked out. I shouldn't have changed anything because it got me to the finals. So
Yep, put you in that final race there, and we got the four there on screen. We've got Diabetes the second, Rye Guy, DK, and jkoper. So it should be a heck of a final. Have you taken much of a look at the flags for the next two races, or not a whole lot yet?
Yeah, I've looked at them a little bit. I know that one is the you know, nothing, so no numbers and visible stuff, which isn't all that scary because I've done a few races like that already now, or a few seeds at the very least. And yeah, I don't know what else. And then the other one was another Chaos Week at the very least, so that should be fun. I always enjoy Chaos, although I hope that I don't hit the bad noodle every single time this week, or next week, I mean.
Yeah, so we've got two races to look forward to in the finals. Should be very exciting. And want to ask Aaron. You know, ended up not finishing this one, but a wonderful tournament. Our defending champion. What do you want to say, if anything, about the seed or your experience with the tournament this year?
I had a lot of fun with the tournament. I think, I don't know, for whatever it's worth, because, you know, on the team that helped to make the flags, and my constant thought was, we got to make this harder for me specifically, since I was the one who won it last year. And I really don't like permanent repel. And I think it got into my head a little bit here too. So yeah, if anything, I managed to win in week 3, and I'm really happy for that. And it just, I don't know. I didn't play this one well. I think I over practiced a little bit, and that always gets into my head. I start coming up with, like, I don't know, ossified plays instead of reading what the seed gave me. And the seed gave us wolves, and I didn't really like it. And that probably was not the way to go. It also gave me sleep, and I swear the sleep spell is useless for me. I don't know what it is, but sleep, just absolutely useless spell. It never works. Like, I think I was 50% on Wyverns, maybe a little bit better on Magic Wyverns, but I don't know how many times I woke up and got slept killed. It was a lot of frustration with the sleep spell. I think we should get rid of it. I'm kidding about that last part, but I'm really thankful you guys for doing comms, and man, it's a great ride. You know, no matter what happens with last year or whatever, I didn't come in like super confident, and to get it to the semifinals is pretty crazy because just making the playoffs is a gigantic obstacle in and of itself. I got knocked out a couple of years ago and felt like I didn't play particularly poorly, except for the one race where I sold Erdrick's armor, starting armor, but forget about that one. Yeah, and to come back, so it's exciting. I hope everyone else has enjoyed playing and watching as much as I have, and just good luck to jkoper and DK going into the finals, especially rooting for not fourth place, DK.
But it's so classic. It's a timeless meme at this point.
Well, and with that, DK, jkoper, any last thoughts about the seed or, things to think about looking forward?
Well, I'll say nothing else about the seed. I think it was pretty decent overall for me, obviously. But no, I'm looking forward to next week for sure. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It should be interesting for sure. Good luck, Coper. GG's again, Aaron and Archfield, and thanks to the crew for putting this on again. It's awesome to see all these races get restreamed.
Yeah. I'm also looking forward to next week. Forward to getting a couple more races in. Should be fun. I expect I'm going to be the underdog by like race time points and whatnot yet again. But I'm just gonna do my best to put a good effort in. Hopefully I'll actually have time to practice before next week. I did one practice seed this week, which was right before this race. So yeah, the highway closing down yesterday really cut into my practice time. So that was annoying. Is it? I'm not sure what the expectation is. Okay, I guess we're kind of supposed to schedule 2 races in 1 week. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure there's some flexibility in there. It's not like anyone's waiting on us. But yeah, looking forward to playing with some more fun flags and seeing what happens. But thanks for the good races at this point, and thanks for doing all the restream comms and tracking as always. So
Yeah, absolutely. GG's to you and DK and Beta. You got any final thoughts here?
Just a well-run race with terrible bottom floor Charlock, which chat loves to see, but the runners do not. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this plays out next week with some new blood in the grand finals. I hope you guys get some seeds that pose a proper challenge to you, and with the new format of being total time for the 2 races, we might actually have a year without a tiebreaker. How about that?
Well, that would be pretty fantastic. So I think with all that, that's going to be it for us tonight. Be on the lookout for some more Dragon Warrior finals action next week, and make sure you follow your runners, follow your trackers. Big work doing this restream. Big thanks to Juef and Shahali for doing the tracking. Big thanks to Cyberdark for restreaming this, and to my co-commentator Beta Strep. I'm Hoodie Two Shoes. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, and be on the lookout for more Dragon Warrior.